Welcome to Pokemon Sword and Shield Ultimate Plus, a full-scale remake of Generation 8 for the Game Boy Advance. It's everything you love about the Galar region, but now in a retro pixel aesthetic free from the horrors of those hideous trees. Ah, Treegate, we really didn't know how good we had it. It was a simpler time. I played Pokemon Sword and Shield Ultimate Plus. Okay, you know what? We're gonna need to abbreviate that. How about PSUP? Please don't let that be an acronym for something bad that gets pointed out by 95% of the comments. I played PSUP as a hardcore Nuzlocke, one that's sure to be a light and breezy experience. PSUP is absolutely, definitely, 100% just a graphical reskin of Gen 8. No need to verify that at all, and those games are notoriously easy, so don't expect too much drama in this video.
I got a package here for a Flagon HG from a Mr. Anton Chekhov.
Oh, great. Let's see what we got here. A gun? That's probably not important. After an adorable pixelated version of Sword and Shield's classic opening cutscene, it's time to explore 2D Postwick.
Whoa. Oh my god, this is beautiful.
So beautiful that you almost forget everyone and everything around you. Starter time, and which of these three dancing dudes I choose will be critical to the success of my playthrough, because though we're sure to collect countless new teammates, it's our first that will remain the beating heart of the run for a long, long time. Welcome aboard, Jamaica. Our first mission, defeat Hop.
Oh, baby. Oh, interesting. It's like painted onto a different sprite. Why is he doing Disney knees? I know what sprite it is, I can't like place it. It's a female sprite though, right?
Hop's sultry pose isn't the only thing worth noting in our first fight, because after a few turns of dealing damage to our rival's Wooloo, he switches out to his Sobble. That doesn't happen in regular Sword and Shield. What type of devil magic is this? Now, someone smarter than myself may have seen this and immediately assumed that this game was going to be completely different from the Nintendo Switch versions of these games, and that assumption would be swiftly validated by the ability to purchase a wide range of quality of life items from a merchant outside the Postwick train station. But not me. I was a special breed of stupid. The type of character in a horror movie that gets brutally murdered at the end of Act 1 because he didn't see the obvious signs of supernatural danger. Nope, this was still obviously just regular Sword and Shield, so off to Route 1 I go in search of my next teammate. Since this is a Nuzlocke, I can only catch the first Pokemon I find on each route, and in this case, it's America the Squavit. Then on Route 2, it's Cypress the Blipbug. See? Regular, boring Sword and Shield. Ooh, look, Zygarde cells! After defeating our promiscuous rival once more, Leon officially endorses both our bids to take on the Galar Gym Challenge, so we're off to the Wild Area. In PSUP, the Wild Area has been broken into 9 distinct sub-areas, so for Nuzlocking purposes, I'll be able to get 9 total encounters here, though currently only a few are accessible. From Wild Area 1, I catch Australia the Doduo, definitely a Pokemon that is in vanilla Sword and Shield. And then, before I get another encounter, as one is wont to do, I do some exploring.
Oh. Ah! I clearly goofed. No! Australia, no! It's all up to America. You got it, buddy, you got it.
He doesn't got it.
No! This game is harder than running, bud. Crit. Okay, just keep doing that. Just keep doing that. Just keep doing that. Come on, Groot. Grookey is clearly a loser.
Indeed, Grookey is a loser, a false god, a deceiver. The true starter who will get us through all the challenges that PSUP has to offer is none other than Kenya the Score Button. Is none other than Fiji the Sobble. Joining him is Cypress the Second, and from Route 2...
This is the run! Modest? Oh, that's bad. Come on, man.
Bad nature aside, we got ourselves a run, baby. After slaughtering the ever-so-promiscuous Hop, we catch India the Ghastly from Wild Area 1. Next, I cleverly don't enter the completely optional raid den, and instead make my way to Wild Area 2, where a 5th encounter, Tuvalu the Timber, joins the team. With 5 Pokemon under our belt, it's time to
Did somebody say time?
Oh great, my spawn conscience is back. I thought we got rid of you.
You did, but I'm back, and it's been long enough that now I'm nostalgia bait. The old viewers are gonna love it.
Actually, I'm pretty sure most people just skip this stuff entirely. That's right, I see when you skip a sponsorship segment, and just know that every time you do it, you're disappointing Poppy.
I don't think you should be weaponizing your dog to antagonize your audience.
Oh really? What should I be doing then, Mr. Reboot?
You should be telling them about the sponsor of this video, Holzkern, an Austrian accessories company that specializes in unique products made from wood and other natural materials.
I gotta say, not our best segue work.
Hey, Lega sequels never are!
Man, I love lampshading. Holzkern makes watches and jewelry for both men and women, so their hundreds of products are perfect gifts for the loved ones in your life. Here's your yearly reminder that Mother's Day is fast approaching, Father's Day is right around the corner, and you're old enough to get them more than a card.
Actually, I'm 6!
Well then get out of here! More important than mothers and fathers, though, May is also my birthday month, which is why I got myself the gorgeous gifted watch featuring a green marble dial and a genuine leather strap. So in honor of my birthday, you should get yourself something too. All Holzkern products are backed by a 2-year warranty and are manufactured in small corgi-like quantities to ensure responsible and ethical production. Plus, Holzkern offers free worldwide shipping with products arriving in 3 to 5 business days. So be sure to use the link in the description down below and my code FLAGON to get 15% off all your purchases this spring. Thanks so much to Holzkern for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get back to the challenge. With 5 Pokemon under our belt, we take our first steps into Moto Stoke City, where we're greeted by the most despicable of British subcultures, the football hooligan. With my sophisticated American palate, I graciously inform these Team Yell hoodlums of 2 things. 1, it's called soccer, and B, they should pick up a hobby that doesn't involve idolizing a teenage girl. Real men idolize women. Inside Moto Stoke Arena, the Galar Gym Challenge kicks off as we're introduced to all of the gym leaders. Afterwards, in the Pokemon Center, we encounter yet another new wrinkle to piece up: the ability to buy TMs. With every single technical machine in the game available to us, the only limiting factor to our movesets is the cash in our wallet. That said, I currently don't really see the need for any additional firepower against our titillating rival.
Another fight versus the sultry Hop. God, he's so promiscuous.
Tuvalu turns Hop's Wooloo into her personal soccer ball with low kick, and she's about to punt this fluff ball into another dimension when suddenly...
That's some big brain shit.
What, you think you're special because you can switch your Pokemon, huh? Well, watch this. Here's Wales to take out Rookidee. Except that Hop switches again, leaving me stun-locked until the literal dev of the game, Phantonomy, tells me in chat that Hop's whole strategy is switching. I don't quite remember that from the original games, but... who cares, Hop's a pushover. Route 3's encounter is Naru the Machop, a Guts fighting type, just like our other Guts fighting type. And a pretty useless Pokemon for our upcoming date with Psychic Specialist Bidet. You can say his name is actually pronounced Bede or Beady or Bed or whatever, but this guy definitely needs something to clean your butt with because my god is he an asshole. And not just with his words, Bidet makes this fight really annoying with a combination of light screens, confuse rays, potions, and yes, switching.
Seems like Hop's not the only one that likes to switch around, huh?
That said, Bidet is basically the kid doing Naruto hand signs in my face instead of, just throwing a punch. So with Bidet cleaned out, it's time for 2 more encounters, starting first with a mining expedition where I encounter a low-level Karkle named E-Rock. Then I head to Route 4.
Okay. I cannot stress how disappointing that is.
You know, Cantonian Morpeko is not who I wanted to see here. I name him Oman. Like, oh man, this guy sucks. Now, I might be on my third attempt in as many hours, but surely that's all just down to dumb luck and a compulsion to press A on every object around me. As I mentioned, Sword and Shield are notoriously easy games. So in my desperate attempt to squeeze out some drama from this playthrough, my run has two added rules. A, we won't be Dynamaxing, and two, we're taking on these gyms with anime rules, meaning that I can only have the same amount of Pokemon in my party as the gym leader. So after picking up the TM for Protect, it's time to show Milo just what's what. This fight might be a little tough because, as the custom arena background makes clear, we're gonna need to weather 3 turns of Dynamax. First though, I lead off with Cypress into Gossifleur and put to work the same strategy that I used to flush out Bidet. Repeated Strugel Boojles. Unfortunately, one isn't quite enough to get the Oko, and Gossifleur hits us with a nasty Leech Seed. Still, he should be dead to another.
This guy's a psychopath!
So it seems like describing all that switching as Hop's signature strategy was a bit misleading. I'm not trying to donate all my HP to this Eldegoss, so I switched to the only other grass resist to my name as Milo goes big. This game has shown a really great attention to detail so far, though I can't help but notice that one thing is missing.
Yikes, that's a lot of damage there.
My song is cut short when I see just how much damage India takes from a resisted max overgrowth, but we're still quite safe. Protect cuts the next max overgrowth down to 1/4 damage, and with an Oranberry on deck, India should be safe from a non-critical hit. The real question is, now that Dynamax is over, what do I do next?
Screw it, I'm a gamble. We're gambling, we're gambling. Yeah!
Well, with some good sleep turns, India whittles Eldegoss down, so with one more Nightshade, I should be clear.
Are you kidding me?
Well, after another Nightshade and a retaliatory Lafage, India's sitting in death range, while Eldegoss's status is a bit of a question mark.
So now the question is that 33%?
Diagnostics. Can I get an analysis on Bogey Health Bar? Copy 909er, pulling up health point analysis now. Diagnostics, that's a little bit vague for me. Can I get a lock on if target is in lethal range? Negative 909er, don't have the resolution. You're gonna have to do this one freehand. But if I miss, it's your call. Okay, calibrating. I can't do it. I'm bailing out. We're pulling up. Pull out. Pull out.
You!
Man, Milo, way to waste the dramatic tension. Well, after a Strugel Boojle, Milo switches out to shake off the debuff, sacrificing his Gossifleur in the process. Eldegoss comes back in, and this time nothing's gonna stop us. I'm taking the shot.
Ready? Aim. Fire! Oh, come on.
Okay, maybe we have to do a double tap, but eventually Cypress comes out on top, earning us our first gym badge. After the long split to the first gym, these next few are refreshingly short. On Route 5, we add Ghana the Mincino to our squad, and then let Tuvalu clock in for his mandated Team Yell thrashing sesh. Hop's presence at the entrance to Holbury just means some sweet overtime for Tuvalu and co. I mean, how did Hop even beat Milo with this team of pathetic—
What? I'm sorry, did that say Power Whip?
You know, I think I remember Corvisquire having Power Trip, but Power Whip? That's either a bold change to the pure flying type's moveset or the result of a simple typo. It happens to the best of us. Besides, all the misspelled moves and switching AI in the world can't keep Hop alive here. Which means we've made it to the redesigned Holbury in one piece, and my god is it beautiful. Replete with seaside views, open air markets, and random wild Vespiquen encounters? Guys, I'm beginning to think that Peace Up might be a little bit more than a simple demake. Well, on the bright side, this is a pretty sick encounter, right?
Nope.
Well, on the bright side, we scored 1 defense effort value and 1 special defense effort value. Yep, it's all coming up Flygon. After getting Nurse Joy to jab this guy with an EpiPen, I resume my exploration of Holbury, only to once again be ambushed by the novel edition additions to this game. This time in the form of a random fisher person. Well, whatever, I see the 6 Pokeballs, and I've encountered this kind of chump before. The reveal of Fisherman Wanda, sick references, first Pokemon confirms my suspicions that she's gonna be little more than a 6-course sashimi platter for whales. As does Phantonomy's literal affirmation that this guy stinks. So bust out the Cutco knives, cause we're slicing through this team like some perfectly cooked fish fillets. If the grimace on my face hasn't clued you in, I feel totally screwed. I spark for pitiful damage, bracing for the worst. But Wishy-Washy just Aqua Rings, and I relax. Maybe this is just a joke fight designed to pump me up with XP. So I get off a Nuzzle and— No! No, 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 no! Liquidation? It feels like just hours ago that I met Wales and we embraced for the first time. I remember the day fondly. The joy I felt, the promise of a beautiful relationship shivved in the back alley by an optional fisher person harboring a Pokemon with a 140 base attack stat and access to an 85 base power stab move. Don't let my wife's complete disinterest in what's going on distract you from the fact that I am absolutely crushed and I am in a lot of trouble.
Dude, how do I win this?
Wales' death is painful enough, but now I'm legitimately concerned that I could wipe here. I decide to go into Tuvalu and do a decent amount with low kick, but that liquidation damage is decidedly indecent. Unless I get a paralysis here, it's time to say bye to Tuvalu. So I throw out a low kick and salute her as she gets vaporized. Thankfully, Wishy-Washy is now finally reduced to her pitiful single form, so Cypress can avenge her fallen teammates by finishing off this demon. And then I remember that there's still one Pokemon left. But it's an Arrokuda, so retribution for my fallen comrades is swift, though it does little to restore my spirits. How could such tragedy come from something as simple as a random conversation? The lesson to learn from this is clear.
Never talk to anyone. If you go up and you see somebody that's like, oh, that person seems interesting, maybe they'll have something interesting to say. No, they'll kill your dog. Don't talk to them.
So as I continue through Holbury, I now walk with ice in my eyes and my cowl drawn up. Armor warning against any would-be fraternization. I will never love again. I conduct my preparations for the second gym in stony silence, buying TMs with a sophisticated mix of pointing and head nods. Nary a word shall escape my lips for fear of the mortal threat it may incite. Nessa's gym puzzle and the one trainer fall in quick succession, setting me up for a date with the leader's dreadful Dynamaxing Dreadnought. As our battle begins, I let my rage loose. Nessa's water types will suffer for the injustice done to me, Wales, and that other guy. Oman the Pikachu is my go-to for our foe's first few Pokemon, and here the plan is simple. Thunder Wave followed by a boosted Electro Ball. Or at least it would be simple if Oman could connect with his 90% accurate Thunder Waves. Now, thanks to Goldine's agility, Electro Ball is nerfed, so after she clicks Whirlpool, I'm very, very happy to have Volt switched out. I then try to snipe Goldine off with Fiji's Sucker Punch, but
this is a disaster!
Well, shit. Fiji isn't built to take down Nessa's water types, he's just really here to tank Dreadnaught's max geysers. I start chipping away with water pulses and sucker punches, but the residual whirlpool damage is really starting to hurt. I'm praying for every little thing to go my way here, or else Fiji is done for.
Hurt yourself, hurt yourself!
Yes! Kill yourself, kill yourself! Even Goldine's Dizzy Spell is only enough to force out Nessa's second Super Potion, though finally Fiji is able to grit his way through thanks to Torrent, getting me through Nessa's very first Pokemon with my best defensive teammate nearly dead. Not great. I protect in front of Arrokuda and scout a bite, so I go to Oman hoping for a static proc. No dice, and an Aqua Jet nearly kills us as Oman proves my initial estimation of his worth by missing Thunder Wave again. This idiot couldn't hit water falling out of a boat. I've got no choice but to switch to my third and final teammate on another Aqua Jet. Then, in my first lucky break of the battle, he dodges a whirlpool, though Arrokuda still manages to deal another chunk of damage with Aqua Jet on his way out. But that finally brings us to the big threat. Dreadnought. This thing is absolutely monstrous. His max geysers not only threaten to two-shot my entire team, they also freely set up rain for boosted damage. We're not making it out of this deathless. I have no choice but to protect on Dreadnaught's first max geyser. Except it's not a max move, it's a razor shell? What? I know for a fact that in the original games, the gym leaders always Dynamax at the first chance they get. But then again, the original games also don't have liquidation wishy-washies lurking in the ambush. I mean, I'll take it for now, I guess. It's a chance to get off an attack because Dreadnaught's liquidation leaves Naru with exactly 1 HP. And it's that one hit point that could be my last lifeline here. Naru gets off a crucial low sweep, lowering Dreadnaught's speed and doing almost 50%, but only almost.
Come on, low sweep, high roll!
I was slower. So just like that, my hopes of surviving this battle come down to the same little that's made this such an unexpectedly difficult fight in the first place. Oman comes out on Nessa's still un-Dynamax Dreadnought, and I am praying for a miracle.
Electro Ball! Oh, god damn it! Not now! Please kill anyways, please kill anyways, please kill anyways. It's -1. Come on, this is like a 90 base power move, maybe? If we're lucky? Come on, Oman. Come on, Oman. Oh, that's game. There's no shot this kills. If Volt Switched that little. Oh, what? Oh my god, Fiji! What? Wait, I don't understand. Pikachu's garbage.
Hell yeah, another riskless fight, baby. Best Nuzlocke in the world. And now for a eulogy to the great soldiers we lost on the battlefield.
This Pikachu wanted to die. It missed 2 90% accurate Thunder Waves, which is my bad. I kind of forgot that that could miss. So, respectfully, RIP.
Man, it's hard out here in Galar if you're an electric or fighting type. Run, Palmot, run! Well, with 2 badges down, I've learned 2 things. Don't talk to anyone, and this is definitely not a straight-up demake. New trainer AI, random power whips, murderous wishy-washies. This ROM is full of surprises. And after those back-to-back battles resulting in back-to-back-to-back-to-back deaths, I need a bit of a break. Some me time to unwind and relax. But once I return, I'll be fully prepared to tackle this game knowing that everything is not what it seems. Do-do-do. Alright, time to watch the new Pokemon Presents. Hopefully we get at least 30 minutes of mobile game updates. Let's see. Wait, is this Gen 10? Holy crap! The waves, the winds, the starters on Pombon! I will love again! I have to play this right now! This is incredible! When does it come out? In a few months? Surely by the holiday season, right? 2027? I can't wait that long. There's gotta be something I can do about this. Come on, Flygon, think. Brilliant. Oh. Oh. Ugh. It's only been a month? Well, that didn't work. I guess I should, get back to working and providing for my family. But what was I even doing? My memories are all clouded from the cryostasis. It was definitely a Nuzlocke. Of Sword and Shield? That doesn't sound right. Those videos never do well. So what was it? Oh wait, I remember. It was Pokemon Sword and Shield Ultimate Plus. Peace up. In an instant, my memories come flooding back. How could I forget Peace Up, the completely faithful demake of Sword and Shield with no changes to the original games whatsoever. One thing's for sure, I feel fully rejuvenated as my ever-dwindling team of survivors and I head to Galar Mine 2 and encounter Belize the Noibat. An excellent encounter, 30 levels from now. Anyways, next up it's back to Moto Stoke, where we add Malta the Choodle to our lineup. Kaboo's the next gym leader, but we actually have a bigger problem lurking in front of us.
That Morpeko's gonna eviscerate me.
Now, fortunately, I can think of one solution, but it is gonna require a bit of bartering at the local Pokemart. And by bartering, I mean selling every last material possession I have for the ability to teach my Pokemon Bulldoze so that they can hopefully deal with Marnie's chomping chipmunk. She leads with her Krogunk against Fiji, which despite the frog-on-frog matchup, dry skin makes an untenable situation. So I go to Cypress, who immediately eats a poison jab? Poison jab this early in the game? Whatever, Cypress one-shots and brings out Scraggy, which lets us go back to Fiji. The side of Work Up is not exactly thrilling, but Fiji luckily has access to Work Down, aka Teary Look. Scraggy gets off a low sweep, and then we spend about a dozen turns going back and forth. After a while, I get bored and land a Water Pulse with added confusion. Of course, though, Scraggy's back to +1, so we trade some more emotional warfare before our foe lands another low sweep. Now the pants-wearing Gecko is faster, and he gets off another workup as our Water Pulse misses the KO. Marnie heals up as we land a nice Water Pulse again, and with what appears to be a high roll, I think he's now in range, so it's fine that Scraggy uses another workup, as long as this Water Pulse kills. Okay, now it's all good. Marnie's gonna heal again, and now we land a nasty and very lucky critical hit, putting us in the exact same position. I have a Ghost type in the back to dodge a low sweep, but the issue is that Scraggy is also a Dark type, and very well could be using a Dark type move instead of low sweep.
Alright, whatever. Let's try it. Watch it have a third super potion. Mapped out. Never hit itself once. Yep. Hi, India.
I'm not even surprised, man. I knew that was a stupid play. Even in vanilla Sword and Shield, the AI is weird about speed dropping moves. But at the very least, Malta can come in and take the KO with Bulldoze, baiting in that dreadful Morpeko. But with Shell Armor, I should be perfectly fine to tank what is certainly at worst a Spark.
Why does this no Thunderbolt? Okay, this game is not, it's not doable. Now am I fucking faster than a Morpeko? I don't know.
Well, after a bit of research, I do. Unless this game is given a random speed buff to this asshole, a Dreadnought should always be faster than a -1 Morpeko. So I should be fine. Should.
Yes! God, this is so difficult.
Man, I'm really starting to feel a little out over my skis with this challenge, and this was just against one of my rivals. Never mind the fact that I'm still trying to fight the gym leaders without Dynamaxing and with a limited party size. Fortunately, against the third gym leader Kaboo, the 3 Pokemon I bring are pretty obvious and pretty damn good. As our battle begins, I'm fully expecting Kaboo's lead Ninetales to have Drought, even though she doesn't in the vanilla games. Fortunately, that is not the case in Peace Up, though the Ninetailed Vixen does still have one surprise.
I would be willing to bet. Okay, so it's a different moveset. They got different move sets in this game.
Whatever, man. Malta successfully lands a Rock Tomb to gain the speed advantage, and after conveniently stalling out all of Kaboo's 11 billion healing items, we sacrifice a little bit of HP from Quick Attack to secure the first KO. Next up is Arcanine, who really shouldn't be that scary even with Intimidate.
We're gonna Rock Tomb here, see what he does. Oh, Jesus Christ, of course. Of course.
Wow, I ought to get the word should out of my vocabulary entirely. That's frustrating, but Malta isn't in a huge amount of danger here. Arcanine's next Thunderfang takes us from 63 down to 33 as we connect with a Rock Tomb, and since Malta's Shell Armor ability prevents critical hits, and Arcanine's first 2 Thunderfangs did 31 and 30 damage respectively, surely we are totally fine here, right?
Don't flinch, don't para. Okay! My boy!
Well, with that, Iraq is free to come in and finish things off with Ancient Power. Although we regrettably don't get the Omni Boost on the way out. It's fine though, Iraq doesn't need it to beat down this Centiskorch. Or rather, to smack down this Centiskorch. A series of protects and quad-effective rock-type moves are enough to drop the bug without any issues, and for the first time in what really does feel like forever, that's a battle down with 0 deaths. And we're rolling in rewards for beating Kaboo. With our level cap now at 36, we can evolve one of our team MVPs, Cypress, into his final form. The Fire Badge also unlocks a new segment of the wild area where we pick up Hong Kong the Turtonator, 1 ball HG by the way, but the greater reward for making it to this new section of the wild area is access to evolution items, although they do arrive just a tick too late for some of our fallen comrades.
Well, that would have come in handy a little while ago.
India may not be able to benefit from the link cable, but Ghana dons a luscious new fur coat thanks to a shiny stone. We've also got another new encounter, one that's sure to become a lifelong friend and ally.
This son of a bitch! Oh! I'll kill you.
I mean, I almost do kill him, but that would be quite counterproductive. So with another flick of the wrist, Sri Lanka joins our motley crew. That's all the new encounters for now, so it's off to majestic Hammerlocke, which serves as the setting for some intricate lore dumps that I give the proper amount of time and attention to. On Route 4, I run into Hop, who tells us that he got cleaned out by Bidet, which is pretty embarrassing, but he's still kind of being a wet blanket about it. Seems like he could really use some words of encouragement from his old pal Flygon.
That's okay, dude. You're the rival in a Pokemon game. You're supposed to suck. It's fine.
I should be a motivational speaker. After picking up Egypt the Maractus and evolving Iraq into her final carcinogen-producing form, I'm blessed by yet another run-in with the saddest SOB in Galar. And true to his word, Hop is absolutely garbage at this game, despite the addition of a few new strategies.
Let me guess, you're gonna heal. Oh my god. He's sacking the silly cobra. He's sacking the silly cobra for the safe switch.
A safe switch back into his reboot. This kid is making the bots in Pokemon Champions look like pros. Though he does have a surprise Pelipper here instead of his vanilla Cramorant.
Yeah, gym leader teams are the only ones that are 100% the same. You know, I've noticed that. Although sometimes the moves are a little different. Nasty Plot Ninetales. Thunderbolt on Morpeko. You think you're slick with your promiscuous Hop over here and your changed move sets, trying to sneakily trick me into playing a ROM hack, an advanced difficulty ROM hack, when all I wanted was a short trip through Galar? You ain't slick. I see right through you.
Now, the town of Stow-on-Side currently has nothing else to offer me except for its extremely British name, and even if it did, you know I wouldn't be talking to no strangers. So I make my way to the gym, where I'm presented with a choice.
Hello, Challenger. This gym is a little different. Okay, great. If you go left, you will face Allister. If you go right, you will face B. Oh, now who do I want to face?
This is not a super easy decision to make. I do feel like I've got good answers for Allister's Pokemon. Once I evolve Fiji, he should handle Yamask, and I'm banking on Cursula's laughable excuse for a defense stat to get me through that matchup. I would say I ain't afraid of no ghosts, but Allister's Ace Gengar is very scary, especially with what is sure to be a buffed moveset. On the other side of things, our current frontrunner for MVP, Cypress, matches up really well into fighting types, but I'm fairly sure that Bea's Pokemon come with quite a few rock moves as well, which are not so fun for Cypress, Iraq, or Hong Kong, aka most of my best Pokemon. After some tortured debate, I decide to face off against the Silent Boy of Mystery, and yes, that is Allister's actual title. So to kick things off, our foe sends in his Galarian Yamask. Ready, Fiji? Pow! That was a freebie. Allister's second Pokemon is the first real problem of the fight. See, here's the conundrum. I should be able to just U-turn out into Scraggy, busting Disguise, and setting up for an easy KO, since in the vanilla games, this Mimikyu does not know Play Rough. But let's remember what I said about the word should. Instead, I decide to stay in to pop Disguise with a Shadow Ball, and then Mimikyu does something he really shouldn't be able to do. He uses a Sword Swords Dance. So I U-turn out into Iraq as Mimikyu reveals that he does in fact have Play Rough. He then roughly plays again as we Flame Charge, doing decent damage, though not enough to put Mimikyu into range of another one on the next turn. That said, I don't think I have a better play, and that certainly proves true when Mimikyu reminds us that Play Rough is a garbage move. Iraq gets a second Flame Charge off, and then a third as Allister heals. We're moving this hunk of coal at steam engine speeds now. Iraq outspeeds for her next Flame Charge, although we can't dodge another Play Rough. Unfortunately, Iraq's fifth Flame Charge of the battle does not pick up the KO either, and now things are scary. I know Allister is healing, and I also know I probably need at least like 3 more Flame Charges to get the KO. And I don't think anyone on my team switches into Play Rough well. So I would really love a crit, which of course I do not get. And that means that now I'm risking a crit, but I just don't have any other choice. Iraq gets hit by a Play Rough and dodges the crit. Though once again, I don't think Mimikyu is in range of a KO. But I have a hunch. A spectral sneaking suspicion. I protect as Mimikyu reveals Shadow Sneak, which is perfect. This means that I can go into Ghana and use Encore to lock Mimikyu into a totally useless move. I mean, I should be able to do that, right?
Oh, you. Wait, that's insane. Why would it do that?
This is unbelievably bad, because Gengar might not just be able to one-shot us, but his max oozes, which he's certainly going for now that I have a normal type in, will start to give him very deadly special attack boosts in the process. So even if I protect, I'm gonna be losing momentum, and with Bullet Seed as Ghana's only attacking move, he has no good way to deal damage to Allister's ace. What I probably should have done is switch to Fiji and force Gengar to click ghost moves, but because I didn't, I'm now staring down a potential +3 Gengar when Dynamax is over. You know, if I even live through Dynamax. I decide that my best play here is to sack Rock on a second Max Ooze that now brings Gengar up to +2. But life is a song, it ends when it ends, and the only way to win this fight is with even more sacrifices. Sri Lanka comes in and I'm fully expecting to see him on the receiving end of a third Max Ooze, but then Allister throws me a lifeline. Gengar uses Max Phantasm, leaving Sri Lanka alive and our foe at a marginally more manageable +2 special attack. And now that Dynamax is over, Sri Lanka might be able to get an attack off, and if he does, we can win this. So it's all on you, little buddy. It's all on you.
All right, Sri Lanka. You want to live? Live.
That probably does it. Fiji can't pick up the one-shot, and he's certainly dead to a hit. But, you know, if Allister throws by going for Hypnosis, our held Lumberry will ensure the dub. So, come on, buddy, get greedy, go for the Hypnosis, put me to sleep.
Oh my god, what?
Fiji, the absolute GOAT! For the second time in the run, our Pokemon has lived on 1 HP in a gym battle and kept us alive. Gengar falls to a second Shadow Ball, so Mimikyu comes back out, giving me a second chance to enact my Encore plan, which this time works perfectly and leaves Allister with his fourth and final Pokemon, Cursula.
I'm manifesting curse for you, buddy. I'm manifesting curse for you. I'm manifesting 5 hits for me. I'm manifesting 5 hits for me. Okay, we're only gonna need 3. We're only gonna need 3 hits. Come on. 3 hits, 3 hits, 3 hits. Just one more hit. Just one more hit. That's all we need. That's all we need. That's all we need. That's all we need. My goat. My goat. My goat, Ghana. Okay, 4 hits is all we need. It's all we need. 4 hits. All we need is 4 hits. Shit. Yes!
This is not a normal D-make, and although it's pretty cool to see new custom AI, right now I am losing my mind over these fights. The fact that the AI can switch that it can be unpredictable is making me want to tear my hair out. But for now, we live to see another day thanks to some super lucky breaks. Without that phantasm, without the 1 HP survival, we were done for. Allister gave me a gift. My run is still alive, so I damn well better take full advantage of it. We head to the Stow-on-Side ruins where we witness Bidet desecrate a national monument and then have a full-blown crash out. Despite being totally surprised by this fight, Bidet's shitty tantrums still prove no match for Cypress and her now upgraded strategy of Boog Boos. So next up, the Glimwood Tangle where we encounter a Sinistea and despite our lack of Ultra Balls, make a classic 1-ball HG capture to add Bangladesh to the team. Before long, we're in Bologna. With my don't talk to strangers policy intact, the only thing for us to do here is fight Opal. So I head to my box to determine which of my various fairy resistances are best for this fight. Huh. That's weird. Kinda seems like the only fairy resistance I had just died to Allister's Gengar. Well, that means I gotta start scrolling the list of TMs and find something that can at least hit Opal's Pokemon for super effective damage, though there, even more problems arise. Nothing on my team can learn Sludge Bomb, nothing on my team can learn Flash Cannon. The only super effective moves we have are Poison Jab for Malta and Fiji. I mean, Malta can technically also learn Iron Tail, but I don't feel great about relying on a 75% accurate move. None of this is exactly heartening, though after a little more bartering, we do pick up the Earthquake TM so that Malta can at least deal with the Mawile. Guys, can someone who is good at the economy please help me budget this? My family is dying. Anyways, it's clear that I'm not gonna beat Opal by out-damaging her. Instead, I'm gonna need to outlast her. Both Egypt and Bangladesh have recovery moves at their disposal, so my plan is to simply stall this fight out until the old lady croaks. Shouldn't be that long. But for the plan to work, I am gonna need to evolve Bangladesh. So I take a trip back to the wild area where I'm presented with a quandary. Which evolution item do I buy? Without any way to determine whether my Sinistea is an antique or a phony, I hedge my bets on the 99% chance of finding a phony and pick up a cracked cup, only to find out that Bangladesh is in fact crafted of the finest china, a sterling import from a faraway land. Of course, this is where I get lucky. If by lucky you mean having to shell out an extra $1,500 for a pot of tea that everyone tells me is better, but is in fact entirely indistinguishable. Anyways, Opal's taken a page from fellow AARP member Blaine's book and decided to test the youth's Pokemon knowledge with her gym puzzle. Thankfully, I have a PhD and, much more importantly, have spent far too much of my life playing these games, which garners me an express route to the Grand Dame herself. She leads off with Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome, and I send out Cypress, who immediately frisks the industrialist and reveals that he's stolen a Venusaurite. Wait, what? I mean, it's better than a Pyapa Berry, I suppose. I'm still skeptical that a Psychic will one-shot, though I don't even get the chance to find out since Opal hard switches into Mawile. I go into Malta on a crunch, and while I'm not happy to see the defense drop, I feel pretty okay about the situation since I do have Earthquake. That is until Opal pulls the Peace Up special and switches back into Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome, who has the ability Levitate. Stream sniping, what a cheater. I go back into Cypress as Weezing sets up an unexpected layer of toxic spikes. Awesome. I mean, I do have Lumberries on 2 of my Pokemon, but not the 2 that are relying on using their recovery moves to stall out Opal, so there goes that dream. All I can do for now is continue attacking. This time Opal switches into Togekiss, who takes even less damage than the Mawile did. I switch into Malta and burn his Lumberry as Togekiss air slashes, and for once Togekiss stays in, so we can actually get off a super effective hit. I predict you are going to switch. Oh, this has Aura Sphere, of course it does. Dude, this sucks! Well, that explains why she didn't switch. Until she does on the next turn. Because of course she would. Because Me, man. All you can do is laugh. I can again switch to Cypress here as Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome, sets up another layer of spikes. Now, I'd actually love for Opal to once again switch to Togekiss here because a Psychic would end up just killing her, but instead, Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome, serves as a sack, Togekiss comes in for free, and our foe heals on the Psychic. If I weren't so miffed by these switches, I'd be praising Opal for her strategic foresight to know that Togekiss is her win con. But I signed up to play a Sword and Shield DMAG, not a blind difficulty hack against trainers with a seemingly infinite potion budget. I get off a Strugel Boojel and some Psychics for decent damage, but it soon comes time to bid farewell to one of my favorites, a Pokemon who's been with us since the very beginning. And her death, sad as it may be, seems like it could also very well be in vain because Malta gets poisoned as he comes out, Opal switches to Mawile on a Rock Tomb, and then she uses a Hyper Potion to survive our Earthquake. So as the Kaboo killer falls, my foe still has 3 of her 4 Pokemon left. RIP Malta, you did your best. I've gone through all my Lumberries now, so any Pokemon I bring in is going to be on a toxic timer. I opt to go Bangladesh for the quick revenge kill, but f***ing Opal f***ing heals again. I mean, Bangladesh does pick up the KO, though at this point, I am thoroughly fed up. Tanking Togekiss's Moonblast ensures that we can pick up another swift KO, and it does bring Opal down to her final Pokemon, but since it's a Gigantamaxing Alcremie, things are still looking bleak. I switch out to Egypt, rationalizing to myself that I need to reset the toxic damage on Bangladesh, but as soon as I do, I realize that that was a critical mistake. See, Alcremie uses Max Starfall here, which sets up Misty Terrain. Had I let her do that before switching into Egypt by sacrificing Bangladesh, then we would have avoided getting poisoned by the toxic spikes. With the residual damage though, there's really no way Egypt can 1v1 Alcremie, and as a result, Opal's free to kill my remaining 2 Pokemon, forcing an early end to attempt number 3 and leaving me to spiral over my massive mistake. Except, was it a massive mistake? Alcremie is a Gigantamax Pokemon, so she shouldn't even be able to use Max Starfall. She should be using G-Max Finale, which does not set up Misty Terrain. I mean, granted, that move is also annoying as hell to deal with, and had she used it instead of Max Starfall, I 100% would have still lost, but the silver lining is that at least I didn't make a mistake. Okay, well, if we wanted to be technical, I should have seen that Allister's Gengar used Max Phantasm instead of Max Terror, indicating that G-Max moves seemingly didn't survive the transition to 2Ds, so it was actually a mistake, but please let me have this. I just wiped to a freaking Alcremie. Peace Up is simply not the game I expected it would be. I thought it would be a faithful D-make, a softball straight down the middle, which is why I added so many additional restrictions to my rule set. Instead, I got thrown curveballs and sliders and every other type of messed up pitch you can imagine, and the result was a challenge that I was just not prepared for. That's not to say this is a bad game, it's far from it. The D-made visuals, to the recreation of the wild area, to all the roaming Pokemon, this game is a monumental achievement, and the surprises, be it revamped movesets and teams, or switch-happy AI, make for a really unique experience that I hope I can play again sometime in the future. Regardless, this playthrough had some of the clutchest battles I've ever experienced, so hopefully you enjoyed watching the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Or don't, I don't know, but stay tuned for more Nuzlocke content, and until then, remember to always, always, always play around the critical hit.